The Slave Uprisings That Shook the South, The History and Legacy of America's Biggest Revolts in the 19th Century. Written by Charles River editors. Narrated by Mary Rossman. Introduction. When President Thomas Jefferson went ahead with the Louisiana Purchase, he wasn't entirely sure what was on the land he was buying, or whether the purchase was even constitutional. Ultimately, the Louisiana Purchase encompassed all or part of 15 current U.S. states and 2 Canadian provinces, including Arkansas, Missouri, Iowa, Oklahoma, Kansas, Nebraska, parts of Minnesota that were west of the Mississippi River, most of North Dakota, nearly all of South Dakota, northeastern New Mexico, northern Texas, the portions of Montana, Wyoming, and Colorado east of the Continental Divide, and Louisiana west of the Mississippi River, including the city of New Orleans. In addition, the purchase contained small portions of land that would eventually become part of the Canadian provinces of Alberta and Saskatchewan. The purchase, which immediately doubled the size of the United States at the time, still comprises around 23% of current American territory. With so much new territory to carve into states, the balance of congressional power became a hot topic in the decade after the purchase. Slavery in the United States was a monstrously cruel system of exploitation, and its victims tried in every way they could to oppose it. This included everything from subtle acts such as insubordination, laziness, or petty theft to more serious efforts like running away, sabotaging tools, self-injury, or the highest form of protest, violent revolt. Despite proponents' portrayal of slavery as a simple part of idyllic country life, hundreds of efforts by slaves to escape demonstrated that most slaves were not content and yearned to be free. Rebellions, whether small or large, reflected deep and widespread unrest. As the issue of slavery roiled the country, few people became as controversial or consequential as Nat Turner, who was one of millions of slaves in the South before the Civil War, but ultimately led the nation's most notorious slave uprising. In August 1831, Turner led a rebellion that terrorized Virginia for several days, killing dozens of whites and freeing slaves as his band moved from plantation to plantation. The Richmond Enquirer reported, "A fanatic preacher by the name of Nat Turner, who had been taught to read and write, and permitted to go about preaching in the country, was at the bottom of this infernal brigandage. He was artful, impudent, and vindicative, without any cause or provocation that could be assigned." Even after the uprising was put down, Turner evaded capture for a few months, and after he was captured, his confessions were taken down and published before he was executed. Virginia would put a total of 50.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?